Greetings to all my loyal subjects out there. King Bob coming at you from King Bob's Kingdom. And today we bring you the Aerosoft Toliss Airbus 340-600, A340-600. And this beautiful Lufthansa livery. Traffic today is brought to you by Say Intentions. What I'm going to show you today is something that was bugging me. I've been flying this plane since it was released a few days ago, and there was a part of setting up the plane that was bugging me. But let's get into the flight deck and show you what I'm talking about. And in particular, it's the performance information from the flight plan, or from the calculations you make on the EFB. You could do it manually, but I wanted to know how to do it, a little bit automatically, so to say. So it took me a bit to figure it out. I read the manual. It wasn't 100% clear in the manual. But chatting with a fellow Discord member, they set me on the straight and narrow. So I'm going to show you how I do it. So let's get it cracking. So over to the EFB. So the first thing you're going to want to do is go over to SimBrief OFP and make sure your SimBrief ID is installed or entered. And remember, that's the number, not the alias. So the other thing I like to do is make sure set payload plus fuel to SimBrief and always use SimBrief wins is highlighted. So you go ahead and click on download your operational flight plan like so. While that's doing that, I'm also going to pull up the one I created from SimBrief. The flight I created is going from Frankfurt EDDF over to Newark, New Jersey. So that's what a long haul is supposed to be, right? So that's what I chose. But as you can see, the flight plan has now been loaded or fetched on the EFB. So let's go down and start the routine like you would typically do any other Airbus. And if you've flown a billion Airbuses, it's pretty much all the same. So you can do it one of two ways. You can either go down to the third MCDU, do AOC and flight in it here, or on your primary, just click on init, like you would normally do. Init request. It's going to go ahead. It's going to go and fetch that. As you can see, it's in progress right now. We'll wait till that concludes. But hopefully everybody's having a wonderful day out there. I know I am. I've been doing a lot of St. Patrick's Day celebrating this weekend, even though St. Patrick's Day is Tuesday. But okay, enough of my yakking. So you can see, clear all that mess out. It has put in our relevant information. Frankfurt to Newark, flight number, grab the packs, 338, cost index. This is something I've noticed, that the cost index doesn't come over correctly from SimBrief, so we're just going to fix it. 176. I'm going to check my cruise. Flight level 360 looks good. Perfect. The other thing it will do, as long as you have set payload plus fuel to SimBrief highlighted or selected there, it will fill in that information for you. And you can see block fuel 178.2, 178.2. Easy breezy. Well, that's all good to go. Now, here's the part that was bugging me. On the PERF page, how do you get this stuff to fill in? Obviously, you just can't do that. No double clicking. You could do it manually, but there is a way to get this stuff imported, and I'm going to show you how. And again, I can't take credit for this. Thanks to that Discord, remember, you know who you are, who set me on the straight and narrow for this. So, the first thing I like to do is, you can see we don't have any runway information here for the takeoff data. So the first thing I always like to do after I import, do the init request, is I like to go to flight plan, and set up my departure, which is on 18, runway 18. SID is OBOC 5S. Insert that. Over to Newark. They want us coming on 04 right. Star's going to be, what, Flossie 4? And we'll go ahead and insert that. Beautiful. Now you'll notice when we go up back to performance, hey, look, we got a runway here, runway 18. That's exactly what you're looking for. So make sure you do your flight plan information first, your departure runway in particular. So we don't need this anymore. Go back over to the EFB. Takeoff and performance. If it doesn't have the runway that you told it you're taking off from, you can just click reset and it will eventually fill it in. And it's also going to fill in things like the weather. So once that looks good, and again, you could change this up just like you do with every other Airbus. You could, if you don't want to do a flex, you could do a toga. We're going to do a flex takeoff. If you don't want to do 1+F or have this automatically figure out what your flaps configuration is going to be, just choose whatever you want. We're just going to leave it on auto. And then you basically click on compute. And it's going to give you some good information here. This is the stuff you could manually insert over here, but what fun's that? Oh, and a quick tip. If you're going to manually insert it for your flex temp, you put an F before it and then insert it. I'm not going to do that right now, but if you just click like 69, see, it's going to give you a format error. Trust me, it's F before and you'll be good to go. But I'm not doing it manually. I wanted to figure out how to bring this stuff over from the calculations it made. And this also shows you some good information here too. Stop margins, V1 speeds, you know, so you notice that you have a range of V1 speeds here, 147 to 163. So obviously if you go all the way out to 163, your stop margin is going to be reduced quite a bit. But that's not what we're here for. We want to get this information over to here without manually inputting it. So what I like to do at this point is click on uplink TO data and then request TO data, and we wait. Again, you could do this manually if you like. Probably not a bad idea to do it manually so you get used to it. Not everything has to be automatic, and you can see takeoff data uplink is ready. So basically now we click on it's received takeoff data, click right there, and you'll notice it created some values first, but these values, you can see flaps 3.0 or flaps 3 up 2.5, 62, 62, 67 for speeds. They're not really what the performance calculator suggested or computed, as you could say. But how do you fix that? See this little button right here? This is assuming we're going to probably do a toga takeoff, which we're not. So Just click Flex TO. And you can see you can flip back and forth. Max TO would be Toga, but we want Flex. Now you'll notice we're getting pretty close, or probably spot on to what the calculator suggested. 157, 70, 76, 1, 2.5 up. 70, 176, up 2.5, 1F. And of course that V1 is in the range between 147 and 163. 157 is definitely within that range. And you'll notice there's more pages up here, and I'm not quite sure why that is, but you could scroll through. Don't know if it would actually. Not sure why there's multiple pages, but the thing that was getting me was, okay, I initially didn't realize that you had to click on Flex TO here because we told we wanted it to be a flex takeoff. Just make sure you click on it. Verify your numbers are within range of what this said. Sorry, of what the takeoff calculator said. And then click on Insert Uplink. Now we're gonna have PERF over here on the second on the first officer MCDU. Watch what happens here. Look, by magic, it put everything in. And you can see what I was talking about for your flex temp, so make sure you put an F in front of it, as it does. That's off by 1, 69.70. I prefer 69, but hey, that's just me. So at that point, you're good to go. So again, calculate. Compute, as they say. Click on Uplink TO Data. Click on TO Data Request. Wait for the message. Takeoff Data Uplink. Click on Receive Takeoff Data and watch. Everything's going to become bolder or big or a different font or something like that. See what it just did there? So basically committed those, and at that point, well, we could see this is a Toga takeoff, and that's not what we really wanted. We wanted flex, so click Flex TO. Done. Insert. That's all you need to do. At that point, it's like every other Airbus out there. Let's go ahead and finish off your normal routine and fly it to where it needs to go and land it and have fun with the landings, because trust me, they're a little bit more challenging, partially because you sit much higher up and the flare is earlier than a 320. I've been flaring about 50. I'm starting to get my landings under control, but I like this plane. It beats the Innie in everything except the texture department. This actually feels heavy to me. I feel connected to it. Great plane. Ooh, check this out. 7.4 passing by. I love that. I cannot wait till PMDG does their 7.4, because I will fly that all day long and all day night. But this is King Bob from King Bob's Kingdom. Hopefully this helps. It helped me. Again, thanks to that Discord member who set me on the straight and narrow, and get out there and fly. Doesn't matter what you fly, just fly. VFR, IFR, GA, helicopters, or the big boys. So King Bob from King Bob's Kingdom. Wishing everybody have a most wonderful day. See ya.